with her. Right, so let's begin. We're going to do, I'm going to share my screen with you. Which one? This one. I don't want to share next lesson. Right, boredom busters for seniors. Oh, it always jumps a page. All right, today we are going to come up with some fun ideas and things that you can do to make your life more interesting. And if you've got a 5-minute time and you think, what can I do now? There are lots of things that can be done in a short time and others that take longer. So let's have a look. We learn from each other. And when I can see you on camera, I can see, yes, you agree with that idea or not. But it doesn't matter if you are not on camera. Because if you interact and I can hear your voice, I can also be able to hear whether you are able to enjoy or if you've got an idea. If you're joining by live stream, the best way to interact is to register for the class. And if I say any items, we're not paid to promote them. It might be something that I use or I have. Right, a little about myself. I live in Perth, Australia, so it is 10 a.m. in the morning. Next day, we are into Friday already, and so it is 10 a.m. for us. And I have been an educator for 44 years. I've taught from little children right up to adults over those 44 years. I'm still an educator today. I still teach each day for a certain number of hours online. I enjoy creating and making. If my happiest time is out, I've got a big table in the garage and I create and make all sorts of things. That's why I do my classes on toilet rolls and pegs and popsicle sticks and things like that. I create different creations using those. I have a great love of animals. That's why I do my animals of Australia and my animals of Africa. And I so enjoy being a Get Set Up guide because I can interact with my peers, and that for me is awesome. So let's have a look. There are so many simple ways that we can while away our time, and there's just so many things to explore. Just looking at these few pictures around us, this is just a collage of pictures. We've got indoor gardens made on a ladder. We've got where you've had a whole stack of magazines and now you really want to get rid of the magazines, but there's certain things in them maybe I might want. Rather set up little mini scrapbooks with those flip folders and you tear out or cut out the pictures that you like or the articles you like on different topics. And you can make each flip file a different topic. And then when you're sitting drinking your coffee or your tea, you can flip through and look at beautiful pictures of travel or maybe plants or recipes that you might think, oh, maybe I can make that for dinner tonight. Different things like that. So choose what interests you and make them into flip files. And those are lovely to look at afterwards. You can listen to a variety of things. You can do your exercises. You can play different card games online and offline with your friends. And you can color, draw, paint, depending on if you are creative and artistic or not. Or even if you think you're not, you'll be amazed what you can do. So let's begin. We're going to start with our indoor gardening. Indoor gardening is a lovely thing to do. We have a small garden outside, which we both love. My husband is the gardener and he's got the green fingers. I like to add all the little touches. That's my side of things and telling him what I would like where. So it's wonderful. We work very well together. But indoors, we also have plants. And I'm mad about gnomes. Fortunately, Michael likes gnomes too. Otherwise, we'd have a problem. And so my gnomes are in like my little, I just took it outside for the photograph. That is my little indoor garden, which is glass on that is shaped to fit on a piece of wood. And I've got my succulent plants in there with my little gnomes happily playing and their musical instruments there. But you can do all types of gardens. You can have up and down, and you can create a feature in your living room. You can have plants growing on all your windowsills. Some of them will have color, some of them will just be green. But if you've got a touch of color, suddenly your room has that little extra spark. Plants are also so good because they take in the carbon dioxide and they give off oxygen. So it oxygenates your room at the same time. And some of them even absorb contaminants. So that is great. You can have your little herb garden. A herb garden is wonderful. The plants only grow as much as you allow them. So if the roots are bound, they will just be small plants. If you place them in a big pot, like my basil is now more than a meter high, it has gone wild. But if I'd wanted to keep it small, I would have put it in a small container, and then you have that growing on your windowsill in your kitchen. And then when you're cooking, you just take a leaf off here and a leaf off there, and you can have them growing together. Not only that, the aroma that comes off those herb plants really comes into your kitchen and almost makes your mouth water. So it's a lovely way of cooking with fresh herbs. And you can also we put basil in our water. We
Oh,
put
wow.
mint into our water. And we also put lemon. So we often have lemon and basil, or lemon and mint in our jug of water, beautiful, fresh, and it just changes the taste of our water. It's a super way of being able to use what you are growing. You can have flowering plants. Some of them grow with beautiful flowers. You can either put them in a box, keep them in there, or give them to some friends. Just give a single one to a friend. You can do lots of things with your flowering plants in your house. Adding plants to your indoor space makes a beautiful enjoyment area of your home. And so seriously think about maybe adding a plant or two. Just talk to them. Talk to them and they will grow. They really do respond to a little bit of loving care, a little bit of touch when you feel their leaves and you give them that little bit of feeling and touch. Right. Now, listening. Listening is a very important thing. We can listen to friends who are telling us life stories where we had no idea what they went through or what they did when they were young. And then you can empathize with them and understand why they are like they are today, because you are now hearing their history. Some people go through hard times but come out the other side even stronger. Others kind of go downhill a little, and you can always encourage them to see the bright side. It's much better to see a half full glass than a half empty one. And so I really believe that we can learn from each other, and we can also share our own experiences with others. If you have grandchildren, as I do, they often say, Granny, when you were young, did you do this? Granny, when you were young, what happened here? Granny, what was your mom like? So if you can put that on tape for them, if you are like me, I'm a virtual grandma to some of my children because I lived in South Africa for 63 years and then only moved to Australia 3 years ago. I have grandchildren, little grandchildren in South Africa now. So I am a virtual grandma to them, and I have time with my youngest, the older of the two, because one's still very young, and he often asks questions, and then we have a little talk while we are cooking together or making something together. So all the time, I at least have time to bond with him, because that is so important. You can also ask open-ended questions when people are talking, which allows them to branch off into a different avenue of their life. Or you can talk about different holidays you've been on if you like to travel, hear their stories, maybe make up a bucket list of places from listening to them that you might like to go to. But also you can tell your own story. You can put it onto your computer. You can go to a place where you can record and the computer writes, and you can just sit and tell your story. And so you are able to leave a legacy for your family when you're gone, because there will be more children and grandchildren and great grandchildren who may want to know a little about you. Any questions, any ideas? Okay. Now, some other forms of listening that we can do. We can listen to audiobooks. There are many websites that have free audiobooks of any description that you can listen to. I've left you with two websites there, audiobooks.com or vibravox.org. Both of those are really good with free audiobooks. You can listen to podcasts. If you don't want to listen to something that is very long, podcasts are ideal. They can be anything from 10 minutes long to an hour long on all types of subjects. There's every subject under the sun. You
I have
can
a
also,
question.
hi Jay, nice to have you in class.
Thank you. Sorry I was late.
No,
Are
no.
will these be in the class notes afterwards?
Yes, there are some in the class notes, not all of them, but some of them are. Also, you can request a copy of the recording, and then you can, anything that I haven't left in the notes, you can pick up from the recording.
Thank you.
Okay, pleasure. Lovely to have you interacting.
What
Great.
part, what part of South Africa were you?
I lived in central South Africa in Johannesburg, but most of our family, both my husband's family and my family, they live in Cape Town. So when we go back, we usually go to, he comes from Port Elizabeth, from the Eastern Cape, and I come from the Johannesburg area.
I've been to Joburg.
Uh-huh.
It's quite
Yeah, it's
quite interesting
very.
and a little bit scary too.
Yes, I'm very happy living in Perth. Thank you. It's
Okay,
awesome. It's a different way of life here,
that's right.
and I love it.
Thank you.
R- Right. So there's also TED, TED podcasts, audios, and videos that you can watch on all sorts of topics. Any topic you think about, they are there. So there are really a lot of things that you can do. You can also listen to radio shows, talk shows, broadcasts, all sorts of things directly from your phone or from your computer. You can just sit, or your tablet, you can sit and listen to them. And that's a lovely way if you've got your cup of tea or coffee, and particularly in winter, you've cuddled up nicely, and you can then listen to whatever, or in summer, sit outside and listen to the things as it gets cooler in the evening. Right. Now, some fun hobbies. I'm covering only a few today because I'm pretty sure I will do a second Boredom Busters in the not too distant future. So I've kept things that I can still use in those ones. But there are many different things you can find on your phone, on your computer to play, such as word searches. Those are great, and Sudoku. I personally love doing jigsaw puzzles, not so much the views. I like busy ones, where there's a whole lot of different things on the page. And there's one that I've just finished now. It was called The Inventor's Cupboard, and it had all sorts of things in it, and that really appeals to me. But now you've got also things like bamboozle. It's called something else on my phone. I just want to find out what it was called on my, oh, I can't get into that because I've still got airplane mode on. Bamboozle is called dingbats. Dingbats on my phone, where you go and you try and work out the different words. Let's look at it for a moment. Can any of you work out any of those 6 in the bamboozles? Who can work out some of those for me? Who's got an idea? How many lips are there?
Tulips.
Tulips, yeah, tulips.
Coast
Yeah.
to coast.
Coast to coast, or the coast is clear. I don't. That I'm not sure of the difference, but
the coast is clear.
Or the coast is clear could be it. Somebody came up with Ivory Coast as well. So here we've got a little bit of leeway to come up with our own ones. Any other ones? So we've got tulips and the coast is clear.
Life over 2 lives.
Well, so that would be life to
one life to live.
One life to live, yes. Life to live or one life to live, yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And another one, who's got another one that they would like to come up with?
Between minutes.
So instead of between, if you use the word in, and how many minutes are there?
Oh yeah, 1, 2.
Back in 5 minutes.
Back in 5 minutes,
Yeah,
Jay.
yeah.
Well done. Yeah, back in 5 minutes. And the one on the bottom left, the only thing I can think of that one is atrium. A and a trio and then M, atrium.
Oh.
But I'm not sure of that one at all. The middle one I do know, go and motion. In motion. In motion, you are moving. In motion, you are going. In motion. So these are fun to do and fun to work out. As I say, you've got them on your phone, you've got them on your computer. They're either called, what did I say, nimbits and bamboozles. So you have different ones that you can do. You can also do beautiful mandalas or coloring of any description, and that is also lovely, just a nice time saver. And you can get these pens that when you've drawn, you then use the water one over it, and it then becomes a beautiful watercolor. That I also enjoy doing in my free time. Any other word games, word searches? Who likes to do these sort of searches?
I like words with friends online.
Oh, okay. I haven't tried that. I'll have a look at that one.
Oh, that's very, very, very popular and very addictive.
Friends. I'll definitely have a look at that.
Friends. And you have to be on Facebook to do it.
Right. My husband's on Facebook. I've left Facebook for a while, but I'll maybe resurrect my Facebook to do it. But that is awesome. So there are so many really nice things that you can do with them. All right. Now, there's also the classic card games that you can play, and you can play all of these online. You've got blackjack, you've got solitaire, and the best way to find them is to just type it in. And when that comes up, inevitably, there is a website underneath it that you can go online. You do blackjack online, and it's there where you can play without money, just playing for the fun of it. Solitaire online, go fish, crazy eights online.
I do not need to butt in, I'm sorry. But however, solitaire, one of them is free cell.
Yes, free cell is one of them.
I love that. It's very addictive, and that usually comes installed already on a brand new computer.
Yes, actually, it does come to think of it. It is I didn't have to ever download it. It was there as well. Also, on your phone, in your apps, there are a number of different types of solitaire as well to be able to play, and gin rummy as well. So and of course, if you can get together with your friends, you can play cards with your friends, and you can then have a cup of coffee and play a game of cards with them as well, which is also so nice to be able to get together. Slowly we've been very fortunate. We've had no lockdown. We've had 1 week of lockdown right at the beginning and another week couple of months ago. Other than that, we've had no lockdown. So we've been exceptionally fortunate here in West Australia. Um, we
Wow. I just want to say, wow. You're so lucky. You're so lucky.
we
I
complain.
thought that was where the new pandemic was coming from.
No,
But
no.
No,
the Africa,
still,
something about
Africa, yes. But I live
There's
in Australia.
Brazil. I think
Oh,
the
I'm
new
I
one
sorry.
is
You
I used to
Brazil.
live in Africa. I live in West Australia now. West
Okay.
Australia
excuse me.
we shut our borders even to the east very, very quickly. And we've just been totally free and open. So we haven't had the pandemic at all. We've been so fortunate. We had to wear a mask for a week, and that was a real moan. So for us, it has been absolutely amazing. Our families around the world are all wearing their masks into wherever they are, and they keep saying, "You don't have masks," and I said, "No." We don't walk with masks. It is really great.
That's
Is
Um,
remarkable.
that because you didn't let anybody in to your
that's
country?
right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
shut the borders. Boom.
Good job.
And
Good job. Yeah, they
they
did a
haven't
good
been
job.
open. We haven't been open since March. We just got back in time from Bali beginning of March, and they shut the borders, and that was it. We haven't had to travel because we normally had to travel every 3 months. We haven't had to travel. We've been able to stay where we are. We traveled within West Australia instead. Right now, exercises. There's all sorts of exercises that you can do. It's good to exercise to get some, but you choose what you like. And there is such a variety, both on Get Set Up and on your apps, that you can choose a different one for every day of the week. You can do yoga one day, you can do stretch one day, you can do walking one day. There's just such a variety. And now summer's coming up. You can swim if you've got your own pool, you can swim. And so there are just so many activities that you can choose as your daily exercise. And with the pandemic, that is one thing that has really come online, is the variety of exercises, from just sitting and doing your exercise to getting really up and physical. We walk every day. We have a small forest just next to our home, and we take our dogs for a walk in the forest every day. And that is beautiful. We're in amongst the trees and we're watching how they're growing. And it is, and of course, we have amazing bird life. So you're hearing the kookaburra laughing, or you're hearing all the other parrots that we have in Australia. We have beautiful parrots. So
Wow.
it's a wonderful walk. We have a half an hour walk every day, and that is awesome. We really enjoy that. So any form of exercise, no matter what you like, do it. It's good for your heart. It's good for your immune system. It's also good for your brain to get that air into your brain, get that oxygen flowing through your body. And so it is very important. I sit in front of my computer for many hours every day, and I do need that exercise of going out and taking a walk. Sometimes in the late afternoon, we will also take a walk. We'll leave the dogs behind, and then my husband and I will just take a stroll and go to a different. We've got a variety of parks and forests close to us. That's one thing in Australia. There's a park within 5 meters, 500 meters of every home. So from my home, I can walk to 4 different parks. And that is awesome, together with my forest. I'm lucky I've got the forest as well. Um, and they're lovely little animals there. They come into our gardens. I've got a little animal who visits us. So really, we have a wonderful life here. Virtual travel. We can't travel ourselves, so let's travel virtually. You don't need your 3D glasses. You can travel without that. And all you do is type in the place, for instance, London Museum. And having typed in London Museum, underneath, highlighted, it'll say online virtual tour. So you choose where you want to go. If you want to go to the Louvre, or you want to go to London, or you want to go to Africa, or you want to go anywhere, you just put that place down and it gives you a virtual tour. You can listen to the opera. If you type in opera, there you will get a variety of opera that you can also listen to as you go along. So really you have an amazing variety to choose from each day as you are going along. When I must say, if I had done a virtual tour of the Louvre, I might not have been so disappointed when I went to the Louvre. I was 16 and all I wanted to see was the Mona Lisa, was what I'd heard. And I walked up to where it was supposed to be, and there were a whole lot of people looking, and I'm looking all over the place for this big painting of Mona Lisa, only to discover it's only this size. It's a tiny little painting. I was so disappointed because in my mind I had something else. Had I done a virtual tour of the Louvre, I would have seen it was a little painting and known what to look for. It's
When
still
I
a
went,
very beautiful painting.
when I went to the Louvre, I was an adult, I took a picture of the people taking pictures of of the the Mona Lisa, and
That
it said not to do it, and there must have been 50 people doing it.
So it didn't help to say no photos. Yeah,
They were
and
very, they
it's
were. It was a disobedient, an out of control class of people.
uh, yes, don't do, I do. Don't do as I say, do as you want. Yeah, you get that grouping
That's
as
correct.
well. You can also go to beautiful places. If you want to travel to, say, Bali, you can type in Bali. You can do a virtual tour around the not necessarily the city. Well, the city is the main city. You can do, but you then go out of the city up into the top corners where there's beautiful scenery. You can go to the volcano. You can actually go to the top of the big volcano and look into one of the volcanoes. You can have lunch at the top of a volcano looking into the crater. So there's all sorts of things that you can see online. And while you're doing that, you can create your bucket list for the future, because this won't be forever. You will be able to travel again. So plan, start working about the things that you'd like to see, where you'd like to go, and do it like that. If you're into animals, you've got if you go onto any of the animal websites, such as Kruger National Park is one of them, but there are many others. And again, there are waterholes. Or if you type in waterholes, live waterholes, you will see a number of wild live waterholes all over Africa and possibly other places where they've got 24/7 cameras. And what you can do is just click on a few of them, put them on your top browser at the top. And then as you want to, you click on the different water holes and you see what's drinking at the time. So those are wonderful if you're into animals, because you do see amazing animals at the water holes, particularly early evening and early morning. That's when most of the animals come down to drink. And so you have quite busy water holes. But if you've got them at the top, you can just click in, oh no, nothing there at the moment. Oh yes, there's something here at the moment. And so you can see them. Any questions, any ideas?
Yes.
I have a question. What did you say? You said something before water holes. What was the first?
Live
Live.
water.
Okay. Okay.
Live
Thank you.
water holes.
Thank you.
What are the people wearing on their eyes over the where it says travel virtually?
Oh, those are virtual glasses. Those are amazing. You can buy virtual glasses, and then you look at your virtual glasses. You then get to go. There are programs that you can do, and then you wearing those glasses, you see all these things in your virtual glasses. You can play games. They are busy playing driving games. They are busy driving with their virtual glasses, and so they are traveling. They are driving, and they are going to see what they're seeing. They're called virtual glasses, and they are. Let me just think what the proper name is. Let me ask my husband.
Is that Oculus?
It looks like AR. It looks like AR.
AR. What is
AR.
AR?
I can't, AR. It's kind of like what the kids are doing. It's
Virtual reality.
Those big glasses that we wear to see virtual reality.
It's some
Virtual
kind
reality
of
yeah, they're called virtual reality glasses. Virtual reality glasses.
Okay.
And so then those are awesome to wear and to use. You can play games, you can do all sorts of things with that. And that's a lot of fun to be able to do that with your virtual reality. So there are a number of things people can do while they are at home on their own or with their partner, so that you while away your boredom. Anybody else got anything to say on this one? So nice that everybody's.
If you guys weren't locked down, then you probably weren't bored, right?
No, I must say. Well, fortunately, with both my husband and I working for Get Set Up, we do a lot of our preparation together and our interaction together. So it is really awesome. So no, we haven't been bored. We can go to the beach. We can go for walks. We can go to the shops. We can travel within Western Australia to different parts of Western Australia.
What does your husband teach?
He teaches the Zoom basics, the Pinterest, introduction to Pinterest, he does microgreens. He's Michael Plumstead.
Oh,
and he does a
I want
lot
to
of
do
that
my.
as
I
well.
want to do my. So he
I just
kind of
took
is
the
a little
class.
bit with technology.
Yeah, he does that side. I do the more creative side. So we work very well together with that. All right. Now, the last one I want to do is exploring mindfulness. When I first heard about mindfulness, for me, that just meant meditation. And my brain is always on the go. So to try and clear it, I really battle. I find my mind wanders far too quickly. I'm getting a bit better, but that was my thought of mindfulness. But mindfulness is actually using your 5 senses. Your seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, and touching. Those are your real mindful. Every one of them has something to do with your mindfulness. So if you are connecting with nature, you are seeing, you are hearing, you are touching, you are using 3 of your mindfulness senses. Mindfulness is basically your senses. You can smell the flowers, you can see the beautiful flowers. And so with most of them, you use, and you can touch them as well. So you really have a wonderful way of using your senses to really enjoy things. Take in the sensation. When you're smelling that flower, look at it and then close your eyes and breathe into that wonderful scent. We have a thing called dragon breathing, and it's such fun, and I'd like you to do it with me. What you do is you sit up straight and you take a deep breath in, the deepest breath you can. Then you stick your tongue out and you breathe out. You breathe, all that air comes from the bottom up because your tongue makes like a little tunnel for that air to come zooming out of. So let's just sit up straight, take a deep breath, and you can feel your whole body as you're breathing out. And if you do that a few times, you are getting in a love. When I'm feeling tired, I do that. And suddenly I've got that extra energy to be able to continue because you're taking in and breathing out as you go. Let's do one more. Breathe in. And out it goes. You can listen to music. That's a lovely way of relaxation. Listening to the different musical instruments. If you're listening to an instrumental, if you're listening to your favorite country and Western singer, whatever is, whether you're back in the 80s with Tom Jones and Beatles and things like that, you just choose what you want to listen to on that day. You can do senior yoga and really enjoy it too. And then you can do the mindfulness 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 each day. You need to find where you're sitting 5 things that you can see. And within your room, or my room, there are more than 5 things to see. Choose 5 things that you can see. Choose 4 different things that you go and touch. Different sensations: rough, smooth, bumpy, sticky. Find the different sensations to work with. Then using your ears. Now, this is a part of brain gym. If you take these 2 fingers and you touch the edge, I'm going to empty my ear here. You hold onto your ear like this and you rub the edge of your ear all the way around, right down to the bottom, and then back up to the top, and then back down again. Suddenly you can hear far more clearly through that ear because you have stimulated all the little senses around the ear and it's now taking in all those sounds. And so a lovely exercise is to listen, then do that on both ears and listen again. And you'll be amazed at how many more things you can hear and how much clearer you can hear. So find 3 things to hear. Find 2 things to smell. 2 things around the room that you can smell. And lastly, find 1 thing to taste, be it salty, sweet, sour, bitter, any of the 5 taste things that you have in your mouth. Your taste buds are around the edge of your tongue. If you put things in the middle of your tongue, you actually don't taste anything. Not until the saliva takes it down to your taste buds, then you can taste it. So just do that every day and choose different ones each day. You'll be amazed how many things that you've forgotten that you have in your room. How many sounds you didn't think you could hear that you can hear now. And so you work with those every day, just exploring mindfulness. And of course, your meditation is your last. Those of you who enjoy meditation, it's really good for you. As I say, my brain, I battle with meditation. Right, everyone, any ideas? Any thoughts? Did anybody find one thing they would like to try?
No.
Nothing that you want to try in the whole thing. Okay. Right. Now,
Oh, the mindfulness.
mindfulness is an interesting array to do. Yes. And there's, of course, your listenings and so on.
Yoga for seniors.
Yeah. Yoga for seniors is a lovely one to do as well. Smelling your flowers and so on is also great. Right.
Connecting with nature.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be outside. It can be connecting with your pot plants inside. The plants that you are growing in your room, those you can connect with. They are nature. You are connecting with them as well.
I just want to say we're not like in the house a lot now because we can't get out. We can go, places. We're not as restricted as we were, but behavior is the big thing for us here in America.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So those are the things, probably the critical pieces of it. But, America is a melting pot, and we have people coming and going from all over, the states and other places and the countries nearest us. And so anyway, so that's probably why we kept, we didn't have that opportunity to not shut down. We had to shut down.
Yeah.
But the mindfulness and the smelling the flowers. I take walks every day, and that's helpful. I wish I could do more. I mean, you'd like to go out and socialize more. So, some of that is coming back.
I'd like to follow along with you, Rosalind. I'd like to. You could be my leader, and I'll be your follower.
There we go.
Is that a deal? Is that
Well,
That
now
sounds
that the
like
weather,
it.
I'm in Ohio, so now that the weather's starting to break, it's going to be a lot nicer. Getting outside to do anything is going to be great. But yeah, it's still, today was a very chilly, cold day. We've had some nice days, but yeah, I'm just ready to get outside and do whatever. Walking
well-
would be good. I plan on doing some walking.
2 days ago, it was snowing in London. My stepdaughter sent us a video she took out of her window.
Oh my
I-
goodness.
I
Oh,
thought,
wow.
goodness me, snow at this time of the year.
No,
We had snow
no.
flurries in Detroit today.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh my
wow.
goodness.
Yeah, part of that. Also, you have to remember the United States. We have a very variations in weather. I'm in California, so we're sunny. We may be overcast or cloudy, but there are places like New York and other places where they're basically stuck inside, and this is their seasonal time where they've always been stuck inside and they couldn't go out and do things. So,
We're just heading to winter. It's starting to get cooler now, and we are heading towards our winter now. So as you get hot, we get cold.
Excuse me, but what is your opinion on fishing?
Fishing, as a hobby, yes.
I'm a fishing widow.
You're a fishing widow. I get bored fishing. My stepson, if he could fish 24/7, he would. I get bored fishing.
My husband, that's what keeps him alive.
Well, if it keeps him alive, but it means you don't have the companionship because he's out fishing.
Well, he's into fly fishing. He's into clubs, blah, blah, blah.
So he's a fisherman through and through.
Yes, he really is, as was his father.
Aha. So that's where he got his love of fishing from.
I believe.
And then in the meantime, you're bored, right?
That's true.
So you join all the classes on Get Set Up and find new things to do.
That's right.
I noticed you didn't have any musical instruments, playing instruments like, ukulele or guitar or piano.
I didn't. Those are coming in the second one. I've got to keep some things for others.
Okay.
So I have to be careful what I do. Otherwise, it either gets too long or I have to break it into two. So that's probably what I'm doing.
Are those flip books hard to make?
No, not at all. The flip books are easy. You just take your whatever pictures and they flip files. So you just open up the plastic and slide them in. And then you go to the next page and the next. And you can get them 20 page, 30 page, 50 page. So you can really make some nice ones. And then you put some pictures facing one side.
Oh, you didn't talk about origami.
I didn't talk much about origami because I do origami in my paper class. So we do some origami in the paper class. It's called Paper and Tin Cans. Creating with paper and tin cans, and there we've got wonderful origami that we do in that, including making a little box like this. You all make a box in class, where you create, well, it depends, you can make it whatever size you want. You make little boxes, no sticky tape, no glue, no scissors. But there are lots of lovely ideas. So there's lots of new stuff coming up along the way there as well. I hope you all were able to get something from the class that you can go and try and look at, see, do. That was the aim of the class. If you've got any comments, any ideas, please feel free to do them in the feedback. I send you a link to the feedback, and then we can add and make new classes that are of interest to you. Thank you so much for being part of the class. We now have, I have 20 classes now that I do. I've got adult toilet paper, toilet roll uses, pegs and stickers, and sucker sticks or popsicle sticks as you call them, upcycling your garden, upcycling your old mementos. So there's lots that you can do as well from those. So hopefully I will be able to see some of you in some of my other classes. But thank you so much.
Are you going to do the one of playing toys for your animals? Are you going to pursue that one?
I am going to pursue that one. I have got it down as a discussion point with my boss. And if she says I can go ahead with that one, I will be doing that one.
I would like to see that.
Fantastic, Peggy. No, I will certainly. I'm asking her about that one. The things, toys to make for your cat, toys to make for your dog, things like that. Yeah, that'll be awesome.
Yep.
So that'll be a great one to do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everyone. Yeah. Yes, Shirley.
Yep, thank you.
I'm going to be an ambassador.
You are?
I have a class on Wednesday called I Love My Pets.
I love my pets. Okay.
Yeah. We're going to talk about pets.
Fantastic. I'm so glad you're going to. Yes, definitely. So I'll have a look and see what time it is. And if it's not in my middle of my night, I'll certainly join you for that. But that is awesome. It is so nice to have everybody partaking. And this has been a great class. Everybody's had their little bits to add, and that just makes it really special. Peggy, I'm so glad you were able to stay for the whole class and you didn't collapse halfway through with your iPad. So that
I've been having terrible trouble with my technology. I had to have my iPhone fixed. Then I got trouble on Facebook, and I got in trouble sending Gmails. So I've had quite a rough couple of days.
Oh, well, I hope it all sorts out for you and that you are able to now be part of what we are doing. But thank you, everyone. Have a great evening, and I look forward to seeing you again sometime. Have a lovely evening. Bye.